Achievement unlocked. Top 5 video games. Let's eat.
Excuse me, I need a spoon.
My spoon is too big.
Spoon with me, dude!
So what's our topic this week there, Skipster?
Oh, our topic this week, we're going with video games. Those are any type of games that you would play in video format.
Top 5 video games.
Anything with a screen, right? You know,
Anything with a screen.
All right.
technology, baby. Who wants to start us off? Well, we're going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So we're gonna go
and then we have a
5s,
couple honorable mentions.
4s, 3s, and then if we ever like repeat, because I'm sure we will have some repeating in here.
Yeah, we'll just bounce.
We'll
off
just
it,
yeah.
Well, yeah, and also this as well. We are going to post on our social medias, and you guys at home each week are going to vote on who you think had the best list of that week. So there's going to be sort of a running tally of who wins. We're not going to do a punishment for that. It's more just bragging rights on, you know, for this week, who has the best taste in video games and who, or maybe who just brought the best argument that week. So that's going to be in your guys' hands.
If you couldn't tell from him saying we have a running tally, we love to compete between us three. We're really competitive. So,
Every single segment is somehow a competition.
Yeah.
We found something that we enjoy to do, and we found a way to turn it into a competition.
yeah, that's what we do. We like to compete. So let's get us started here. Logan?
We'll go this way now. Yeah.
So, cream of the crop.
Number
Top 5 video games, my number 5. So, I'm going to preface this. I went about this in a specific way, and I went the best 5 video games in different categories.
Oh.
So, my number 5 has to be the Battle Royale styled video game of Fortnite. I think it is a top 5 video game, and I'll tell you why. It came out, and since then there has been many other Battle Royale games like Warzone, and there's been some other ones, but PUBG was before it, another Battle Royale game, and it quickly surpassed PUBG. Quickly. I played PUBG before, then I played Fortnite, quickly surpassed it, and then Warzone still doesn't have as much traction of it. Fortnite, to this day, the Fortnite World Cup, has the biggest prize pool in all of esports history. Over like $3 million, I think, went to the winner. Like, big. It's one of the biggest games, and you know, you guys kind of gave me a look when I picked it, but I think it is very revolutionary, and it is such a great game. It's not just for little kids with the cartoons. Adults play it, and I mean, adults are playing in the tournaments. They're winning. They're making a lot of career from it, and I think it has revolutionized. And that's sort of my sort of standard for these is like, how good is it compared to all the other games, and how does it do? And Fortnite surpassed PUBG. It came in later, surpassed it, and nothing has even come close to sort of coming close to it. I mean, it's sponsored with Drake or Travis Scott, I'm sorry, and then I think Ariana Grande is going to do
They did NFL teams.
Yeah, and they're just collabing. They collab with Marvel. Yeah. They're just huge, and that is my basis for why I think it is one of the top 5 video games of all time.
I will definitely agree that it was very revolutionary, but once like people started figuring out how to build and all that, it wasn't for me anymore.
I mean, I enjoy a good Fortnite. I can sit down and play some Fortnite with the bros, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a good time.
I've had my fair share of it.
I wouldn't put it top 5. I'm not going to disagree with what you have to say. I think your argument was valid. I just wouldn't put it top 5 for my personal list, or even maybe like the all-time, like in the general grand scheme of things. But I enjoy it. I enjoy that you're throwing yourself out there.
I'm not saying that it shouldn't be there, but it shouldn't be there.
No. I'll go with my number 5 now.
Let's hear it.
My number 5 is, I think, the best number 5 that you could possibly have. I'm going with GTA.
Ooh, that is a good one. That is actually, I actually did not even think of that.
See, my whole list, I have put games that I've spent the most time playing.
I respect that.
So, like, if I personally spend a lot of time playing it, I'm going to put it on my list. And these are probably the 5 games I've played most in my life. Just mixed up the order a little bit. But GTA 5 is one that, I mean,
It's fun.
There's so much you can do with that. That game came out, and people are like still clamoring, like, "Oh, we want GTA 6 now. We want GTA 6 now." There is so much to do in GTA 5.
Yeah.
Like anything you can imagine. And whenever I'm bored and I got no clue what to do, there's nothing better than just getting on there and
You playing a little?
playing a little. Dude, sometimes you just get on, play some tennis. Sometimes you just play a little golf.
Yeah.
Steal some cars.
Sometimes you steal some cars and
Beat
rob
up
some
some
banks
hookers,
and
you
you
know?
do all that. But like, there's a lot you can do in that game.
I don't disagree with you. I mean, it's a good one. Like I said, when you said it, I was like, dang, I did forget about that. We'll go into my number 5. So they kind of gave a little bit of like why and what they picked for their top 5. I not only are the games that I spent the most time on, but the most joy that it brought me are my top 5. Like the most like absolute like, oh, I love it. I can't wait to go home and play the game again. Number 5 was actually the first video game I ever played. It was on the Nintendo 64. It is The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Figured that was gonna be on there.
Not gonna lie, I thought that would be your number 1.
It is one of my favorite games of all time, and it's so much nostalgia. When they brought that game and remastered it for the Nintendo, I think it was for the Nintendo Switch. Maybe it was a 3DS. I just, all I know is my buddy Dylan.
Yeah, it wasn't the Switch.
It wasn't?
No.
Yeah, because it wasn't out yet. I think it's like the 3DS. I think that's what it was. Well, they remastered it, and me and my buddy played it literally all night long and just beat it, and it was so much fun. I loved getting the colored tunics for the different biomes that you would beat and stuff like that. And you had Baby Link beating up people. I just love it. It's fun. It's the best game I've ever played. Or not best game, I meant. Sorry.
Your 5th best.
Fifth
best
best
game.
game.
I've never played it, so I can't really say much. I've never played any of the Zelda games. But
Oh, you got it. I'm excited.
Yeah. Breath of the Wild. Is
I have
amazing.
not played that, and I'm going in a couple weeks on a trip, so
Yeah, you should.
I'm borrowing it from my friend to play it on the flight.
So I'll preface this, and this is sort of the beauty of kind of cream of the crop, is that we can kind of make it whatever we want. So like we kind of heard, like Sam's top 5 video game of all time was subjective to him and what brought him the most joy, and I sort of went at it as like a general overview of like the top 5 video games. Because in my honorable mentions, I put the video, because Fortnite does not bring me, in some of these, one of these I barely played.
Oh.
And I'm just looking at it as like objectively more than subjectively, just based on like what it is and and its accreditation, and that's why I brought up Fortnite and however.
That's fair.
Fortnite, like I have some honorable mention ones that have brought me way more joy and I would much rather play, but they've got some problems with them, as you know most games do.
Hey baby, it's cream of the crop. We're all here for opinions.
And that's it. Cream of the crop can be whatever you make of it, and that's just sort of the beauty of it, and that's why we kind of can give it to you guys to sort of like, oh, he had the best picks and he had the best reasons why, and you know, I just like the way they argued it. So that's just sort of a little disclaimer on that.
I'll go with my number 4. So we'll go back snaky, a little snakeski. I'll go with my number 4, and it is I would say a game that I spent a lot of time on, and it was jumbled between 2 games, but they're the same game, so it is what it is. I am putting the Destiny 1 and 2 games in there. I think they were so much fun. Like, at first, though, when my brothers introduced it to me, I hated it. I hated the idea of it. I was like, oh, you're going to go play that space game, blah, blah, blah. And then I borrowed it from my sister-in-law, and I never looked back.
Yeah.
I played so much of it, and honestly, to this day, if I had more time, I would still play it. My brother still does. My uncle still does. It is so much fun. There's so many things that you can do, like you said with GTA. It's endless. Like, you have weekly challenges, weekly raids, always trying to get your light level higher. I preferred being the Titan. That was my favorite guy to use. But like that, you have so much customization too, like what you wear, what it looks like, who you are. There's the Titan, the Warlock, the Hunter, and it just brought me so much joy. But it's just a great game in general. Like there were some, like you said, there were some issues with like servers and stuff. But I'll never forget when it was Tuesday night when I was in high school, the weekly reset. We can go do the Vault of Glass raid or the Crota's End raid and just, you know, have a good time with 5 other buddies. And it was a good time. And I loved it. And I think Destiny is one of the top games.
Number 4?
Yeah.
Number 4 top game?
One
So
of the,
Mount
I said
Rushmore.
one of the
Mount
top.
Rushmore. Mount Rushmore.
I said one of the top. I didn't say the top.
I'm just
We all
saying,
know
you're
that
just
we're
your number 4. I get it. I get it. You got anything to say about that?
No.
Have you guys ever played it?
I have never. I've seen people play Destiny. I have never personally had it because I've never owned it. I have seen people play it though. It does look fun. I mean, there's aspects of it that sort of remind me of Halo, but then there's things that you said that are sort of step above.
See, that's another thing with Halo. Like, when you play Halo, I get, like, a feel of, like, a Call of Duty almost. Like, that's kind of what you get.
Yeah.
With Destiny, it's a lot of PvE.
Yeah.
Like, it's not PvP. But you can go and play PvP if you want. Like, there's so much to do. But it's a lot of player versus the game. And that's what makes it so much fun, because instead of competing with your friends, you're alongside of your friends, and you're going at it with, like, the big boss raids and trying to get better equipment and everything. So
Yeah, I'm the same way. I've only ever watched people play it, so I'm just kind of hoping there's one on your list that I've played personally that I
yeah, I don't actually. I know you've played 2.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, I guess my number 4. I think we're about to change it up a little bit here. Because I'm putting the consoles aside, I'm putting the PCs aside, I'm pulling out the iPhone, and I'm about to rock a little bit of the heyday.
I knew he was gonna put that on there.
Are you kidding me?
I knew
Okay,
it.
let me talk.
Wow.
This one's for the cameraman here. If you've never played Heyday, you're missing out. It is like, I mean, I have again, my list was divided by the games that I've spent the most time playing, and I have spent so much time building my farm to be what it is today. So it couldn't not be on my list. So, and it's what, like, when I was in, like, the thick of it, I'm kind of more of a casual player now, I'd say. But when I was a competitive Heydayer, like, in the thick of the game, I would set alarms for, like, 1:30, 2 in the morning, and, like, to make sure that I could get my boats out on time. Like,
I will say when we got into Heyday a little bit over this past summer, and I would catch myself every 10 minutes getting on the game.
You just
and,
gotta
like,
pop off
doing your crops, doing your, like, it was actually very addicting.
It's such an addicting game.
Yeah, I'm glad that I'm sort of past it, but it is a very, very fun and addicting game. One of the most addicting games, I would say. I like apps and phones.
I mean, I gotta respect it. It's a great company that made it.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably their best game they made, I'd say.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong.
So, my number 4 next is the one that I've barely played. I've played a little bit, but it is the category of the best mass multiplayer online game. And that is World of Warcraft. And that game has been around for 25 years almost, and it is still going strong. They still have updates, they still have those raid bosses. Like you said, there's a lot of, it's like a fantasy one, and there's, comparatively, there's RuneScape, but it was the first revolutionized one, but it's still continued to grow and still be better than these other ones, Elder Scrolls Online, Lord of the Rings Online. It's one of the best mass multiplayers. Just because of its longevity. I mean, it's 25 years ago, whatever, and like the Leroy Jenkins, that was so long ago, and that was from that one. And like I said, I barely played it, but that's why I'm picking it on my list, is because more so of its sort of accolades than really the enjoyment I bring out of it. In a game that's lasted that long and still doing such a good job, I think has to be on the top 5.
I've never played it.
How often have you played it? Like, you say you only played a little bit?
I've played probably maximum of 2 hours total.
Okay. When I was a wee little lad, I would play that game a lot. Like, that was one of my go-tos in elementary school.
Whippersnapper.
Yeah.
And I would say, I'm going to recommend to you, personally as a friend, don't play it. Because I could see, if you started playing that game, you would become way too, like, it seems like one of those games that if you played, you would, like, would take up all of your time.
Yeah.
Like, and I just don't want to see that happen to you. I'd rather hang out with you than call you and be like, hey, what do you want to do? It's like, oh, okay, I'm playing World of Warcraft.
Thank you.
It just seems like one of those games that would, and I feel like it, like, you brought it up and I was like, that was a fun game. I might want to play it, but I'm thinking, like, if I go back and try and play it now, it could happen to me.
That's like exactly how Destiny is. Like, it really is. Like, it's the same thing.
More of a reason for it to be on my top 5.
It's like a drug. It really is like a drug, and I'm gonna avoid it, and I recommend that you avoid it.
Hey, so good pick.
It's a good pick. It's a good pick.
I mean,
top
it has
5.
to be. Okay.
I'd put it top 5.
So then I'm gonna go to my number 3 pick. My number 3 pick is a game that I probably am the only one that's heard of in this room. It's called XCOM 2, and I'd mentioned this to you guys before. It's the best turn-based game ever. There's turn-based games like all the Civilization games, like Civ 5, Civ 6, Risk. And again, it's just surpassed them. And I've put a lot of time into this game, and it's won so many awards. It's so good. You fight aliens. It's got such a good storyline. It's so well done. It's just a lot of fun. There's a lot of customization, which I know you guys don't know it, but there's a lot of customization with your troops. You know, if you want to bring in you can bring in a sniper. If you want to bring in like 2 like hand-to-hand guys, or you just make your team, and then if they die, you know, they're gone or whatever. But XCOM 2, it was sort of one of the guilty pleasure ones that I added on this list, but I wanted to add a turn-based game on, and I think it just edges out the Sid Meier's Civilization games, and so that's why I'm putting on XCOM 2. If you haven't played it, I would very highly recommend.
No, I've never played it. Never heard of it. Can't say much. Never heard of it. Just, I mean, I don't want to go deep into the game, but you said it's a turn... how do they pull off a turn-based game with a storyline?
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
That seems confusing.
Yeah, it is. So basically, it's it's been a little bit. I don't remember if it's like other planets. I mean, obviously with aliens, but or they're inhabiting Earth. But basically, it's Earth kind of run down, let's say, or you're on another planet run down, and you have like this headquarter where you are, and you have little missions to sort of like stop alien forces and get supplies or whatever like that, or save some hostages. And let's just say you have like at first you like have like 4 recruits that you go with, and so what you'll do is you'll get sent on a mission, and then you'll go out, and then you're like in this big it can be like a cityscape with a bunch of like buildings and cars and everything everywhere, like a gas station that's like run down or something, and there's like it's sort of like Catan in a way. There's like tiles and things like that, and your guy can move a specific amount and then like maybe try to shoot, but like people have different things. So like there's a sniper that you leave back, and there's your guy that's like right up there with a shotgun, and like each person kind of gets a turn, and the aliens also get turns, and like they can like move behind things, and it's fun. And then it's like turn-based, to where like if one of your guys dies, then they're dead, and in the next mission you have 3 people until you can like recruit another person, like bring them in or something like that. And you're also like upgrading your weapons, upgrading like your people's armor, but it's like not unrealistic where it's you're always ever OP or anything like that. You have too good of stuff. And then if you kill all of the aliens or you get to the checkpoint, then you can then you retreat back, and then you get your next mission or something like that. So that's sort of how it goes, and then you basically try to complete your goals and complete your missions.
When did it come out? Is it like newer, or is it like just a general time?
I mean,
like last 10 years?
5 years.
5 years? Okay.
5.
Just wondering.
What's your third?
2016.
2016. 5 years.
5 years.
We're on 3.
We're on 3.
Okay.
Okay. My number 3, again, I'm going with games that I spend the most time playing, and this is probably the game that I play most now. I'm going with NCAA Football 12. Going with 12. That's the one I have 13. I've played 14 a lot. I don't have 14, but I've played it a lot. And that's the game that I spent so much time on that game, doing Dynasty mode. Really just all the NCAA football games, I guess, but like 12 is mine. My newest game system is a PS3. I don't have anything past the PS3. And I've made a deal with myself that I'm not getting another game system until they bring back the NCAA games. And it's coming. So I got to start saving up, because I'm going to have to get either a PS5 or an Xbox, whatever. I don't know what it is. I'm going to have to get something, because I spend way too much time on this game, and it's just such a good time. There's nothing better than playing. And then when you get the best, it's like I can sit by myself for hours at a time and play Dynasty mode, recruit, bring Idaho to the national championship for 5 years in a row. Like, it's a good time. But then, when I just got a bunch of people over and we just need something to do, you just set up a tournament, you play some games. I beat Chase every time. He's so bad. Like, it's just a great time. And great game. Great game.
Yeah, it is. So my number 3, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you didn't play it, but you might have. I don't know how much multiplayer games you played, but it's Call of Duty, MW2. And it's tough for me to pick between. I had to put a Call of Duty on there because I'm a Call of Duty avid player throughout all the years. I've played them all. The only one I didn't play was Infinite Warfare because it was buns. But MW2 edged out Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 1 for the sole fact that going home and rushing to get to your PS3 or Xbox 360 to jump in a party chat with all your boys and go nuke hunting on Karachi or Wasteland or whatever it is, like, was amazing. And like it was just so much fun, so much nostalgia. I will say that Special Ops was also a lot of fun, and the campaign, like the whole game, like was what made it better than Black Ops for me. Personally, like, so some experiences with the game. I remember that was my first platinum, my second platinum trophy for, because I had PlayStation 3. My second platinumed game, me and my brother couldn't beat this Special Ops mission for, like, on Veteran, and one night we grinded it as hard as we could possibly do it, and we beat it, and that was a lot of fun. And just, I don't know, the nostalgia was amazing, and I'm so happy they aren't, or haven't yet. I don't know if they are or not. I do not want them to remaster it.
I think they will. I think they are.
I don't want them to for the sole fact that I loved Call of Duty 4, but when it got remastered, it kind of took away the nostalgia. It kind of made it seem like, oh, this is just like...
It's just another game.
Yeah, it's another game. Like MW2...
It's another same game.
Yeah, it's another... Yeah. But like with MW2, like you can go back and play it on the same like on Xbox One with like the backwards compatibility, and it feels like it was back then. Like I don't want them to remaster it because they'll change too much and it'll just be different and it won't be the same game.
I'm not a big Call of Duty guy, but if I had to pick one, I think that's clearly the best. So that's a good pick.
That was the first one I ever played.
Really? Okay, I wasn't sure if you did or not.
Yeah, first one I ever played.
It's a quality pick.
It is.
Yeah.
It was, like I said, it was tough to edge out Call of Duty Black Ops because I loved the multiplayer, but it had zombies. I mean, it had zombies, and then like everybody loves zombies. It's the best. So.
Well, didn't Black Ops had zombies?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's like it was tough that it edged out. Like MW2 edged out.
I thought you were trying to say that MW2 had. I was confused. It's all right.
My bad.
Can I make a recommendation? Mm-hmm. We're on number 2. Can we just go here?
Oh yeah.
I have a fear, so I say we go here for 2, work back around. I have a fear. So why don't you do your number 2?
But do you think my number 2 is just your number 2?
No, I think your number 2 quite possibly could be my number 1.
No.
It's not?
No.
Okay, well,
why don't we just
I'm going to just go.
Yeah, you go.
Alright, so I'm going to go on.
Why don't you quit sabotaging the show?
I'm going to go on to number 2. And this is this one is solely on how you said played like the most of.
Yep.
Because I play the most of it every single day of my life.
Yeah.
It's on my phone. I've played it since sophomore year of high school, and quite frankly, I don't know if it makes me happy or if I just get super angry and want to punt my phone across the room. And it's Clash Royale. And I was talking to my buddy Jacob at work the other day. And he said, I had an epiphany the other day. Clash Royale is a lot of fun. And I was like, you know what? It really is. And like, it truthfully is a really fun game. It's a really strong, like, strategic game that you have to be skillful about how you place your cards at, where you're at. And the coolest thing about it is it may seem like it's the same game year after year after year, but really each month with the new update, there's a new meta to the game. There's a new way to play it, new cards to use. So if you don't have those cards leveled up, you're kind of falling behind. And I really just love grinding out ladder trophies and like going over to do the special events. I wish I had a strong clan that we could all like get together and like play and do a bunch of clan wars. But I'm just in a random clan. It's the easiest $5 I spend every month buying the season pass.
Yeah.
I just love the game and I can't stop playing it. So
it's no heyday.
It's way better than Heyday, dude. It's not even question.
I love games that are super quick, and those are games that are super quick.
Yeah.
A game takes 5 minutes max.
That's what I do. I literally go work out at Planet Fitness and do the stairs for 20 minutes. I go through 4 games, and all of a sudden I'm done on the stairs. I'm like, sweet, that was the easiest stairs I've ever done.
And it's also a game that is very simple, but it's the smallest thing of misplacing one of your things can completely shift everything. And you have to be on the exact tile. No, and it is a very fun game and a very great game.
I literally,
I would say.
For example, earlier today, I was playing against the skeleton barrel, and I'm like holding my zap over it, so once it hits my tower and drops all these skeletons, I hold my zap over it, zapped it too early. Guess what? Skeletons took my tower. Skeletons. I was like, are you joking? This is what happens to me? This is how I lose trophies? This is ridiculous. And then I almost punted my phone across the room. Alright, let's move on. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is probably of every game that I've ever played in my life, the game that I've yet to ever be challenged in. It would be number 1.
So annoying.
It would be number 1 if it wasn't like everybody else was so beneath me in it.
Oh.
If that makes sense. Like if I actually had competition when I played and it was like a fair matchup, I would probably get so much more joy out of the game. But I've yet to find a human being alive on this planet who even comes close to my just natural God-given ability at that game. And that's Mario Superstar Baseball for the GameCube.
You're disgusting.
It's just simply the truth.
He's really good.
Yeah. I've beaten the game.
He's so good.
I've beaten the game 4 times over, 5 times over, 6. I don't know how many times. Actually, beating the game is pretty easy, so I've probably done it like over 100 times. But I mean, it's just so much fun, and to sit there and to play. I got everybody on star. Every single player is a superstar. I don't know when the last time you guys played was, but everyone's a superstar now. In case you didn't know that.
So, is there ever a correlation in your mind that maybe you're so good because you've beat the game 100 times? Like, if I played Call of Duty and I got 10th prestige 100 times over,
Here's the thing.
I think I would be top in the world.
I would think that.
Maybe there's a correlation.
I would think that, but the second, from like the time I was like 6, I pick up that GameCube controller, I felt like an electricity shoot through my body, and I just shut somebody out 10-0. And I've never looked back.
Maybe you're above all of us when we play because you have continually played this game over and over your entire life and never stopped, and we play once every 5 years when you ask us to play.
Well, here's the thing. From the time I was 6, like, even when I first started playing, I was just so much better than everyone. And then everybody else, like, kind of was like, okay, well, let's move on and find the next big game. I was like, guys, I'm not ready to move on yet. I'm still so good.
We're really humble on this podcast.
Dude, here's the thing. I am being humble. I am being humble. This is my humbleness. Do you want
being honest.
You're
He's
so
just
annoying.
honest.
Do you want me to brag? Because I will brag. Like,
oh, you haven't started?
What's your number 2?
My number 2 is the best fantasy role-playing game of all time, and a game that I genuinely enjoy and have played a lot of, and that is The Witcher 3: The Wild Hunt.
Never heard of it.
I've heard of it. Never played it.
Witcher?
So
I hardly know her.
let me give you one award this game has won.
Okay.
In 2020, this game won Video Game of the Decade. Or the Century, I'm sorry.
Okay. I was
Century.
going to say decade's pretty good. Century.
I'm sorry. Well, probably.
Video games even in the 1900s?
Best video game of the decade. It's super good, and it's better than Skyrim in my opinion. Also, the Netflix came out with The Witcher, and amazing. Probably gonna start being it was one of my favorite shows. They only have 1 season. I'm so excited for the second one. And then that just got me more excited for it, and I played it, and there's over 200 hours of gameplay in just the campaign. You have so much you can do, and it's like Skyrim in a way, but I like the way that, certain, monsters or bosses, like, there's different irons and stuff, like a sword that's made of silver. You use that on a goblin and it kills him in 1 hit. But you try to use that on, like, I don't know, a griffin, and it doesn't do anything. Like, things have specific weaknesses, and I just think that's super cool. So you can't just, like, have, like, the best sword and kill everything. Like, you have to sort of game plan if, like, you have a mission to go, raid a giant spider's den. Like, you have to find the right sword and the right potions you need to use. Super good. One of the best fantasy role-playing games I've ever played. I played a lot of hours of it, and the books were really good. I never read them, but I heard they were really good.
I got triggered when you said Goblin because it just spiked up like Goblin Barrel for me, and I was
Yeah.
Still back
I
on
was just
Clash.
mad. Yeah.
Royale. But yep, that's my number 2. Best fantasy role-playing game.
Oh,
Question.
I
I think I'm just gonna ask a question. What century are they judging this on? Because if it's the 20th century, like the competition's not that stiff, and if it's the 21st century, we still got like a lot more time.
Well, if it's the 20th century, Pong, dude.
Yeah, Pong's pretty good.
Yeah. If it's the 21st century,
Like what century are they?
that's even better because nothing's gonna match it. It's the game of the decade.
Game of the decade.
That's what I said.
No,
Yeah, and then you
I
switched
said
it to
century. I don't know.
You
You
said
said
decade, and then you
you
switched
switched
it to century.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, maybe because you guys messed me up. Yes, it is the game of the decade.
So what?
The
so
last
that's
10 years.
That's 10 years. Okay.
In 2020,
Makes
it was
sense.
the best.
Because you said game of the century, I was like, wow, that's
Okay.
a
game
I gotta
of the
ask.
last 10 years.
I think we are.
Are we at a consensus?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think we gotta say
Alright,
that.
we're at a consensus. All of us have picked the number 1 game.
I was scared it was your number 2, which is why I wanted to switch it.
No,
so we
absolutely.
Okay, I'm glad it's your number 1.
It's my
We
number.
know.
I mean, we've played it from day 1 on
By far the game I've put the most amount of hours.
Yeah.
By far, not even
probably.
close.
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Dude, we're all minors here. Like, look at us. Like, come on.
Actually, I'm 22.
What? I said minors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Ah, man, the game is so much fun. I mean, we play it to this day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome because my nephews are even playing it now. So like, they're into the game.
I mean, you say things like GTA 5 is the 5th best game of all time because you can do whatever, you can do anything, you can do everything. You can literally do anything you want in
And
this
it's
game.
the best, dude. It is.
There's mods, there's different game modes, there's servers, there's everything. We've been on a bunch of different Skyblock servers. That's so fun.
Yeah.
Skyblocks it's just a different mode you can do.
Yeah.
It's just so amazing.
Hunger Games, Bed
Oh,
Wars.
yeah,
Good
absolutely.
little bed wars. Oh.
And just like anything else, it came, and there may have been stuff before it, but it's far out past. There's knockoffs.
Oh yeah.
It still is far out passing them.
By far.
It's not even close.
Like you were saying, like you literally can do anything. Like named off a numerous amount of different like game modes. But heck, you could just go into a game, go mine us some wood,
Cut down a tree
cut down
and build
tree,
a house.
crafting bench, put some wood to sticks and make a freaking pickaxe. It is the best game. I will say this is going to make you guys a little angry. I know this. I know it will.
Yep.
I personally prefer the console versions over on the computer. I'm not a computer guy, I'm not a CP player. I love consoles. I
You
do
say CP?
No, it's a PC.
Okay. Just making sure. I thought you said CP.
whatever. But I am not a computer player. I prefer the consoles. I think it's more fun with the controller. It is awesome that they're adding servers to the Bedrock version. I do like the mods you can do. That's really cool. Like Pokemon or what's it?
Yeah,
Pixelmon.
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 Yeah, we've played on that before.
Yeah,
many
Hunger
times.
Games. Like it is really awesome what you can do with it. But I just prefer the console. That's my person.
When I play on the computer, I normally use a controller.
Yeah.
I couldn't disagree more. I think I love the mouse and keyboard. I mean, that's how I started with this.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
that's
fair.
just what I'm used
Yeah.
to. And I started with computer first. Like, I played this since I was in 6th grade. So
Nice.
I've been playing this pretty much almost when it first came out. I think I was like a year behind when it first came out, but I just prefer the computer, and I've only played it on the computer because you can add so many mods to it, texture packs, which they did add eventually, but still it's just way easier to add mods in on the computer and the different modes and all these other sort of platforms to do it on. And I think PvP is just way easier. Like, if you can control your mouse a little bit better than you can control both of the sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just what.
All right, let's go through the table, us three. Since we all came to consensus of Minecraft.
Yep.
Our favorite memory of playing Minecraft.
Oh my gosh.
I have mine, and it's easy. Minecraft first came out for the Xbox 360. I literally bought a used Xbox 360 from a buddy for Christmas to buy this game and play Minecraft. Me and my friend Dylan Clark, he was the guy I was talking about earlier, we created a world.
Name drop.
Oh, sorry, ooh, bam, mic drop, name drop, whatever you want to say. But we created a world and we called it Riften. I think it was like a Skyrim like name or whatever, but we never played Skyrim or anything, but we called it Riften. And it started out as 2 little houses, and then it grew into this big, enormous city where we would have user after user getting into our lobby. Like, we would have a full 8-person lobby at the time. There was only 8 people. Full 8-person lobby, and people would be waiting in our party chat to join in to play and create more of the city. Like, we had a currency system, we had a jail, we had everything going, and it was just fun. It wasn't like spectacular building, or we were like 13 whatever, but it was just so much fun. It was one of the best times I ever had playing Minecraft.
I think my best time is I played a lot with your brother. We played a lot of modded Minecraft together, and we went on a server on a mod called Tech It, and it adds a lot of machinery, adds a lot of certain valuable ores and, you know, valuable resources and, you know, new armor. It adds a lot of things. And a lot of things that are very OP to where you cannot die and you can one-shot anybody, anything, it doesn't matter. And we started that by creating a cookie factory. So like we had Corey digging up everything and like sorting everything, but whatever. And then eventually we became so like powerful on that server that we had enough resources that somebody built us a castle and then built like sculptures of us, like the skins that we were using outside of this the castle. And yeah, so that, I mean, that was pretty cool that, you know, you could get that powerful and at a point in Minecraft and somebody had built us a castle. I mean, it wasn't like an overly huge castle, but it was still a really cool castle and really awesome thing to do. And and then little sculptures and a little hedge maze outside and a fountain. I just remember it. It was really cool. That's just one thing that always sticks out to me playing.
I mean, I don't know if I got like one singular memory, but just like when I play, I just do a lot of dumb stuff. And I think that's what really makes the game the most fun for me, is like in the world that we have now, like I have a whole strip club, and then like I have a big arena right next to it, and you know, just playing that. And then like even when like me and Gav would play when we were younger, like we'd like start and we'd have a little town and it would all just be filled with like the dumbest things you could imagine. And like that's what makes Minecraft fun, is you could make a cookie factory or have your own currency, or you could just like, you know, go around and get like 100 dogs and like mess around. It's just, you know, you can do whatever you want playing Minecraft.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go into some honorable mentions that didn't quite make the list, but we think are still up there.
Yeah. So I got 3. I'm going to just list them off. Roblox, Super Mario, Nintendo 64. It was the second game I ever played, and then Dante's Inferno. The reason I like Roblox is you can do anything you want. There's so many different things to do. Me and Ethan would play Murder Mystery X all the time. We would try to like get knives, and I remember staying up till like the sun came up next morning playing that game. The reason I picked Super Mario 64 is because I think Mario deserves a spot on every list, and that was my favorite one of the games. Dante Inferno was one of the most nostalgic games that I picked on the list. It wasn't like the best game by any means, or like the most fun or whatever, but it was the first game I bought with my own money. It was a pre-owned game from GameStop, and the first time I got it, I put it in my PS3 and beat it in one night, and it was a lot of fun. So those are my 3.
I got 4, so I'll just go through them quick. The first one I got is Mario Super Striker, which is another kind of like Mario Baseball and with soccer. I'm also just better than everyone at that game. Logan's pretty good, but that's a fun game. Another one I got is Army Sergeant Wars.
That's a good one. The little toy.
That's a nostalgic game.
Army Sergeant Wars or whatever. You're just a little like toy stick, not stick figure, like a toy army man, and you run around. It's like
Call of Duty.
The better version of Call of Duty. It's a pretty fun game. And then after that, I have War of the Monsters.
Ooh, that was also
once you said that, I knew that game was going to be on your list.
Yeah.
Which
once you just said that.
That's another one that was close to getting on my list. I love War of the Monsters. That's probably my favorite PS2 game. I have it for the PS3. I just never really play it. And then the final one that I'm going to just throw out there because none of us really put it out there, but it was like literally like scratching my head if I should put it on my list, was Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Yeah.
I was big into that. I don't know if you guys like it.
I played a lot.
It's alright.
Ooh.
So my honorable mentions, I have 4. First is Ark Survival Evolved. It's a dinosaur video game. I love dinosaurs. You get to breed and tame. You're just in a big open world that looks pretty realistic. And you get to basically boost up your stats. And then you live in a world full of dinosaurs. So you tame some small ones, and then you can tame some like aggressive ones, and then eventually there's some boss fights. The only reason it didn't make my list is because it does have a lot of problems. I've played probably like 1,300 hours, and it's a game I played a lot, and I love the game. But it's a good concept put in the hands of bad developers. And me and my 2 buddies that played it a lot, we always said that all the time. It was sort of like, I don't know if any other games played it, but you get to a certain point and you play it multiplayer with a bunch of people, and you can play PvP or PvE and stuff like that. But eventually the server wipes because people will build these massive. Because you can build in it too, kind of like Minecraft in a way, but it's like realistic. But after a while, people will abandon their stuff, so servers wipe, and then you reset. And I just love that game. I think it's so good, but put in the hands of bad developers. Pokemon Yellow. I love Pokemon. I could have put other games in there, but Pokemon Yellow was revolutionary. I think there's really not much to say. Civilization 5, I mentioned it earlier, turn-based game. Beat out by XCOM, but I love the game, all the different ways to win, and I really want to do like a Civ 5 crossover with Catan board game, like ways to win Catan other than just the victory points. I think that'd be super cool. And then Black Ops 3. I love the multiplayer in Black Ops 3. I also love the zombies, and that's something that MW2, to me, the multiplayer is awesome, but I loved zombies, and that sort of escalated it more. And then the multiplayer was really good. So
was Black Ops 3 Origins?
No.
No, that was Black Ops 2, right?
Yeah. I'm shocked neither of you put honorable mentions, but neither of you put a Pokemon game on there.
I was actually thinking about I should have put one on.
That's your honorable mention.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, on your top 5. Yeah. I was thinking about them. I was like, they're one of them.
I didn't know which game to pick.
Yeah.
Mine would have been Emerald. If I would have put it on. I like Pokemon Emerald.
Yeah, Emerald's really
good. It was like the first one I played on my Game Boy Advance, and I liked it a lot.
Well, hey, make sure we'll put this all on Instagram. Vote for your favorite
or Twitter.
Well, it's gonna be somewhere.
Yeah, you'll see it.
And or
if we'll probably even put it in the comments, and you can just like the comment that you like.
Yeah, and then comment your favorite.
Give us your top 5.
Yeah, your top 5.
Yeah, we want to hear
your sort of bad picks.
Let us know how dumb our picks were.